This is Lucky Robin, and we are finally making some progress on building these garden beds. Once we did some research, my husband's got it sorted, and he says that once you get the bottom layer in and level, everything else is pretty much a breeze, other than the hard physical labor of hauling the bricks. We're using block adhesive between the rows instead of mortar. It goes a lot faster. It works just as well if you're not like building a foundation or something like that. We're only going 3 stories high on this. So, show you a little bit of what's going on in the rest of the garden. This is echinacea coming up, and these are the June-bearing strawberries. The raspberries have fully leafed out. Let's see. That is lemon balm in the pot there. And it looks like the fennel is not going to make it. But I just grew it because it popped up somewhere that I didn't want it. And I didn't water it enough. But look how well these are June bearing as well. And then these are ever bearing. And see how well they are doing. These ones, again, are June bearing in the pots, ever bearing in the beds. Get this pole back up and over for the deer come back tonight. Although I think they may have finally given up. One day we're going to get rid of all these weeds and cut the roses down. But I don't know when that day is going to be yet. Gonna need to add some hay onto here after several days of rain. This got really beaten down. So no signs of potatoes yet, but it hasn't been long enough, so I wasn't expecting there to be. Since we did get these figured out, we're not actually going to build a bed out of the hay like I had thought of. So that needs to get done. We need to get the rest of this stuff sorted between keep and dump, because the weeds are starting to grow up between them. Got some bluebells growing up. The blackberries that are in the ground have started to green up. These ones really need to get into the ground. I'm not sure. I know I'm supposed to plant them 3 feet apart, but I'm thinking about just tucking them in between the primocanes, because I'm not sure we're going to get anything else weeded right now. The pansies have recovered. All that rain really helped them perk up. And then, oh, those strawberries aren't doing quite as well. They don't get the sun as much in this location. That's phlox. This is also a project for another day. It's become this catch-all that really catches nothing because you don't know it's there. And the weeds are growing up around my boxes. Gonna have to drag my boxes onto the concrete so we can weed eat back there. But the onions that are planted in here are doing really well. All of these boxes need to be weeded out again. The sage is almost filled in the box completely there. And the chives back there are flowering. I probably should cut those off. Onions. I don't know how the horsetail got in these, unless it grew up through the holes underneath. The thyme has almost taken over that. I'm seeing nothing on these huckleberries. This one at least is red. But that one and that one, there's absolutely nothing. So I'm going to contact the grower about that because they do have a guarantee. The chard, I've got it protected from the deer here, and then the rosemary has been blooming since March or so, maybe even February. It was ridiculous. But I don't think it really likes growing in that pot anymore. I may have to put it in the ground. And we've taken 1 load of weeds to the dump, and this is what is left. So that is how the garden is doing right now. Big, overgrown, weedy mess. Okay, so this is how block adhesive goes on. You use a caulk gun and you just put it in the main points and glue your bricks down. How long does it take for it to dry?
I think it's like 24 hours to be completely dry, but you have about half hour where you can make adjustments.
Okay.
I think that's what it said. And you could take and do the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
But this is a wider section in the center, and that's the spot where I'm putting it. Just to help give it some stability.
Okay. Alright, so the first garden bed is completed. Did we decide how long this was?
I don't remember.
Well, I think it's either 20 or 21 feet long. And it's just shy of 3 feet across. The bricks themselves from outside to outside are 4 feet across, which gives me a 2-inch reach from either side. I can't go much beyond that.
2 foot.
2 foot reach from either side. I can't go much beyond that. Alright, so now we're getting the landscape fabric laid down and attaching it with landscape staples and the handy dandy mallet, which is a lot easier than just trying to shove it into the ground. Oh, that's just a
centipede.
Centipede. It's fine as long as you aren't worried about that. And the ground must be pretty soft here for you to be able to do that. Alright, we got the landscape fabric all the way down the bottom, and we're ready to start filling this halfway full of hay. Alright, we've got 2 hay bales in so far. I'm thinking it's going to take 4.5 to 5 to finish filling that up. Alright, we have run out of light, but we got the bale as put in. It took 5 and about 2/3 bales to fill it about half full. And this will go down, just those will get pressed down more when the weight of the soil is on it. But this was a lot cheaper because the hay was free. The soil won't be. So we'll have a good foot of growing space and without having to pay for the full 2 feet. Okay, we got our first cubic yard of dirt. We're going to be taking it over in buckets because that's easier to dump when your wall is higher than your wheelbarrow. And we moved the handicap ramp over here because there's a little bit more room to get up this way, so we can go straight back to the raised bed. Alright, our first loads of soil are going in. This is the nice 4-way soil. We get it by the cubic yard. That's what'll fit in the truck. Alright, we worked until it got dark again. Truckload did about half, so we're gonna have to get another one for this bed. And we might need to titch more. Not sure yet. We'll see how it plays out. So yesterday we got this strip weeded out. About here, there's a little bit back there still. A little bit up here, and then we'll straighten this out. And then there's still, 8 feet maybe along here to finish this to the end. And then of course all the way back to the back. We completed filling this in with dirt, so that's ready to be planted. Started the next, getting this level, putting the string out, and leveling the ground on this end. But it was way too hot today to work, so it was 82, and we might get a little bit done now. We've got about an hour of daylight left, and it's cooled off significantly, so we'll see. But that's it for this video, and I'll do a planting video next, I think. You know, it's been a few weeks between updates, but that's the way it goes. It depends on the weather, what we can do outside. And we've had weeks of rain, and now we're having really hot weather, so who knows. But I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.